Today, I was very kindly gifted a Battlefield 5 Alpha key. Of course, it's closed, so I'm sorry for anyone that can't get in on it. I don't really know the stipulations, the rules, the regulations, but I was gifted it by the kind folk over at DICE EA, and very, 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 very excited to bring you my thoughts, because of course I didn't get to go to EA Play. But overall, I loved it. Playing on Narvik, I played both Conquest and some operations, ground operations, airborne assault. I'm not exactly sure on the lingo just yet, but of course, as you'd expect, absolutely beautiful. The game looks incredible from the moment you're parachuting in out of the planes to crash landing on the snowy tundra, moving forward onto the villages and to the bits where you have to blow up stuff. I would say that to start with, I had to tinker really, really heavily with controls. I even tried playing with a controller, because usually I play obviously on PS4, so getting back onto PC controls did sort of impede me slightly to start with, but it really wasn't that much of an issue. Once I tinkered and got more used to the mouse and keyboard, it was absolutely fine. I'm going to quickly talk about a few bits that I didn't like, and then I'm going to go on to all the bits that I did, and believe me, there's a lot more that I liked than I didn't. But I have to say, I actually agree with some of the stuff that came out of EA Play, a little bit about some of the HUD stuff that you see on front of the screen, the V medal thing that sort of goes on, that comes down. It's a very big, beautiful V sign when you get an achievement. That is quite glaring. Also, I'm not sure if it is just me, but occasionally the game went super bright. Very, 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 very washed out, very bright. The time to kill, I know that they've said is a lot faster, and it's to be a lot more tactical. I don't think it was actually that much of an issue, but the accuracy of some guns, maybe again, that's just because I'm not that great on the mouse and keyboard. For some reason as well, I couldn't seem to change squads, so if I was left on my own, I could not join another squad. Love nor money, that button wouldn't work, so maybe that's something that needs to be ironed out in this alpha. I played with all of the classes bar Recon, just because I didn't get time to do it. With the heavy machine gun and the support class, of course, support's going to be playing quite a heavy role with reinforcements and fortifications, and the fact that ammo is scarce. And this is actually something that I really like. I know a lot of people probably didn't like it. They want a full amount of ammunition that can run in and run and gun. But actually, I think it's great. Look, in real life, you wouldn't be able to lug 300, 400, 500 rounds of ammunition. So just stopping by a little, what do you call them, a little ammo dump, cache of ammo and health dotted around the map, and also relying on squad mates is a good thing. That's also one of the issues that I had. Occasionally I was without squad. So as soon as you're out without a squad, you actually feel it quite strikingly. Battlefield 1, if you were a lone wolf, it didn't matter anywhere near as much as it will now. Another slight issue that sort of really peeved me a bit was the fact that if you're not in a squad and you go down, you that's it. You have to then respawn. And of course you've got no spawn location, so you have to then spawn back at the plane. Again, pushing for squad play, but I couldn't join a squad, so often I was forced to go straight back to a plane and then, hedge my bets. Hedge my bets. I think it's hedge my bets, and see if I could wait as long as possible before the plane got destroyed by AA fire and jump out. Let's talk about what's great. Okay, first of all, the way it looks. It's stunning. I didn't expect anything else. We saw the trailers, we saw EA Play, we know what the engine can do, we know what Battlefield games can look like, and again, it has not disappointed. It is absolutely beautiful. I know some people were saying that it does look a little bit washed out, and weren't quite sure when they saw early footage, but no, I think once you get into the game and you start playing, you realise just actually how great it is. The colours are crisp and fine, and the way that enemies and actually everything from houses to artillery placements, everything sort of slots in and makes it look a lot more realistic. It's great. Time to kill, as I said before, it is very fast, or a lot faster than BF1. I think it's a good thing. It just takes a little bit of time to get used to it. The healing regen thing, never a problem. I didn't find it a problem at all, so I know people were worried about that. You don't need to be. Honestly, in most gunfights in BF1, if you got injured, you'd have to wait a certain amount of time before your health regen. Now, that might mean that you hid behind a rock, but if you were forced into a firefight, it wouldn't make any difference. Now it's kind of the same thing. There's so much action going on. You never really feel that you're going to go into a firefight without health. You just can get knocked out instantly. Oh no, I've been shot. Well, that's a game. Of course, you're going to get killed if you get shot in the head. So a sniper shot, or if you've lowered your life and you've done a mad dash, someone might pick you off with a single shot to the leg or something like that. But it doesn't matter. Bleeding out. I like this animation. Put your hand out covered in blood, blood trails along the floor. You go, Sanitäter, which is medic in German. And it's pretty cool. I like the fact that you can look around because you can actually give a little bit more information to squad mates, potentially, if you're down and out. I couldn't drag any teammates, and I'm pretty sure that they wanted to have that in there. You know, it's one of the key elements that you can drag teammates to cover. But, you know, it takes a bit of time. I once tentatively stroked a friendly until he rose to attention. Not in that way, you disgusting perv. But yes, it was good. It's very good. I enjoyed it. I like it when you go down. Naughty. I like it when you go, if you're downed, it is actually not as bad as it was in BF1, which could be really frustrating. The respawn times are pretty much identical. I don't think there's changed, but I like the way that you can either jump in on your squad, or you can spawn and look at the sort of redeploy menu in more detail before you choose where you want to go. You really do notice ammo. Obviously, as an assault player that I predominantly played in Battlefield 1 and previous Battlefield titles, you notice really heavily that you come in with just 2 magazines and they can disappear in seconds. So you've got to pick your shots. Obviously, you've got less ammo, which is fine, but the gunplay itself does feel quite different from BF1. If you are a fan of BF1 gunplay, you will struggle a little bit to get to grips with it. It does feel quite different. The guns react differently, especially if you're looking at the support class. You have one support where the machine gun can only be properly fired once mounted. So good luck trying to aim down sights with that. I found out the hard way. Vehicle combat seemed fluid and fun. I only spent a very small amount of time in one of the tanks, but one of the ones I did get was because I used my squad leader perk to spawn in a really cool tank, and that was pretty awesome. I didn't know what I was doing with it because I didn't know the PC controls, but once I figured it out, that was pretty nice, and I look forward to using squad abilities and squad leader abilities a lot more. I think they're going to really come into play, especially when you've got a decent squad behind you, which is going to be so awesome. Fortifying is another piece that I quite liked. It's a lot quicker when you're the support character, which is obviously going to play quite an integral role in the game, but you can do it as any class, any person. I think it will be used more as the game progresses and people get used to it. Obviously, at this point, it's a new feature, so everybody's running and gunning instead of thinking tactically about holding down and locking down locations. But I think once people start to do that a little bit more, it's going to be decent. Also, the destruction of the environment is pretty good. Blew up a couple of houses with people in them. I like the way, like they've described, if you throw a grenade into the house, everything explodes outwards. If you hit it on the outside, it goes inwards. It's really cool, and the level of detail on it, you can't really do it justice until you actually play and see it live. Even maybe watching someone else do it doesn't quite give you the same level of realism until you actually get in there and start playing it. Narvik, the map itself, stunning, but of course the level design is great as well. I really enjoyed running around its little bits of buildings and the downed railway track and the bridge that's blown up. Yeah, it's great, and it looks like so much is going on all the time. Obviously, the planes coming in and drop you down and stuff like that in the operations. I'm going to try and bring you guys as much information as I can, my thoughts, any updates, any things that we're striving for in Battlefield 5. I'm going to try out a couple more classes, or rather, I'm going to try out a couple more weapons within the classes and see if we can get to grips with the controls on the PC a little bit more. And I will try again to bring you, but early impressions are fantastic. It's very different from Battlefield 1. The way it plays and the feeling is very different, but it's still a Battlefield game. And you will be able to play it. If you're worried about the way it's sort of changed some of the mechanics, I wouldn't worry. It'll take a little bit getting used to, and maybe there's going to be some tweaking along the line, because there's a lot of time and a lot of things that can be done before the launch from now. So if we find some things that really seem to bug us, hopefully we can give that feedback back, and then they can implement changes as such. But so far, I really like it, and I think it's going to be pretty goddamn awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it there just for now, and I'm going to see if I can jump back into the battlefield, but yeah. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Let me know what you think. Your comments, your woes, your worries, your thoughts, anything that's tickling your fancy. Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you on the next one, which should hopefully be quite soon. But for now, DRBC 007, signing off.